What's up, everybody? Welcome to our short film about the mural, the At a Gym mural that we did. And we were excited to bring this over to you. I'm sitting here with TJ Soez de Leon Guerrero and Peter Aldon from Cagman High School. So let's go ahead and say hello to them.
Hafiday Tim Soez de Leon Guerrero, born Saipan resident, currently now painting and doing murals out in Guam.
Yeah, right on. What's up, guys? Pete Aldon, Cagman High School, born and raised also Saipan.
All right, so we wanted to talk a little bit about the mural. We got a little time lapse, we got some stuff, but we want to bring you a little bit more in-depth coverage as to kind of like how we got there, what we did and stuff. So how we actually did this mural is we were working with the National Endowments of Arts and also with DCCA and CCA up there. And, we bid for the process and we were really excited because, I've been going to the mural. I've been going to the At a Gym for a long time. And because of that, it was really exciting for us to do. And it was something that we wanted to do for the community. So, we filed for the grant. We got all the necessities out of the way. We qualified, we submitted our information. And then from there, we submitted some depictions that we wanted, some mock-ups that we wanted to put on the gym. And then, we came down to the selection process. We were selected as the winner of the bid. And then we worked further on the artwork and then kind of went with there. So I'll take you on this journey, short journey, based on what we did and how we did it. And it's going to be pretty fun. So let's talk to the artist. What were your depictions of the art, and what did you want to see on that wall versus what we did put up there? Was there anything different that you wanted to put up there?
So for my depiction with the mural, what I would have really loved to see was maybe just a little bit more, basically more not originality, but more of an artist's own original taste and flavor into it. When we bidded for the mural and when we submitted our proposal for the artwork, we kind of had to battle many different renditions and many different versions of what you actually see now. So I would love to see one of the very first proposals that we actually proposed to them, being that it was really something that was true from me and Pete's side, something that spoke that you didn't have to guess on who did it. When you looked at the mural, you were definitely able to say that it came from Soez and it came from Pete.
So I had original ideas. I had were to take certain skills of like the animals and attribute that to the sports players themselves and have like silhouettes of sports players. So in that sense, it'll just kind of tie the people and understand them with nature a little bit more, right? You want to swim a little faster, you be like the fish. You want to run a little faster, you be like the goat, or I don't know, the deer or something, right? Things like that. But then all in all, the overall design still was able to capture, like Soez here said, an artist's perspective, right? And the original intent, the original ideas materialized, boom, on this wall, which depicted again the love of the cultures and the islands itself, and sports, of course, right?
So when we first submitted everything, we had these ideas of so many different things, and then that didn't work out, so we had to resubmit several times the artwork. So I wanted to talk through kind of like the artwork and what it ended up being. It's important. We really got a lot of people involved, especially DCCA and NAMSA and the rest of them, in order for them to really make sure that this was proper, for what was going to be a billboard, which everybody in Saipan sees. So let's talk again to the artist and see how that all worked out.
Yeah. So I guess the design kind of morphed into almost like that postcard scene in which it kind of acts as a destination spot, right? It's calling you. And the ideas of what we could do with the gym and everything, and what the island can provide, nature-wise, resource-wise, why not let it be the destination spot for these games as well? So that's the idea, was bringing everybody, inviting the community, inviting outside as well, bringing them in, from overseas if it have to be, right?
Yeah, definitely. So from the very first submission that we did, it ended up like what Pete was saying. We kind of took little bits and pieces of from our first submission to the last submission, then it kind of got collaged in together. Basically, being that postcard kind of look and feel to it. So it in the end it really did work out. So I'm just happy everyone likes it.
Fast forward, right? We submit the grant. We got everybody here. We got all the different renditions done. We are now at day one. We're ready to go, right? We got all the supplies. We got all the stuff. And boom, here we are. Let's talk about it.
So day one was probably the most brutal intensity when it comes for me as a painter as well. What ends up happening is you have to make sure that all the supplies are there. We had to make sure our lift was there. We had to make sure that it didn't rain. Thank goodness it didn't. But day one was probably the most interesting day that we could have had together as the team. So it took a lot of knowledge from me painting large-scale murals to make sure that everyone was in tune to say, this is what we need to do and we need to get it done, and we need to get it done before the sun goes down, because we're actually battling what was it? A curfew. We were still in lockdown, right. So we actually had a curfew, so everything just had to move smoothly, and it was working out pretty well, pretty well.
Between me and Pete, we did the Saipan sign for MVA. I don't know, in 2017 or 18, something like that. Yeah. Was one of our first murals that we did, and it was fun and it was exciting and it was challenging because we're trying to figure out. Well, it was 2018 because that's when U2 happened. Mm-hmm. It was real challenging because it was a metal surface. It's not concrete, so we had to figure out all these different things. And so, day one with Soas's help and Pete's knowledge and skills as well, we were able to figure out exactly what we needed to do. So like one of the first processes that we had to do was clean the whole surface, right? We had to take a water blaster and we had to water blast that whole thing, which pretty much took us like the whole day. And then after that was
we started to bleach the whole wall.
Yeah, so you got to bleach the wall. And why do we normally have to bleach the wall?
So being with that painting, the painting that Louis Ogo did, it stood for 14 years. So the paint there stuck like it ends up being like chalk. So without water blasting it and without scraping it, what will end up happening is if we just painted right over it, pieces will start peeling off way quicker than it should be. So the process of actually prepping the wall was very vital to this painting lasting for as long as Louis Ogo's painting. So it like Shane was saying, that day one was very vital, and it was very interesting because trying to water blast the whole wall and bleach it with such a small team that we've had, it was very interesting to see. It was my first process to actually do it that way. Most of the walls, I've been spoiled, so most of the walls that I do are pretty nice and pretty prepped. So this one kind of took all the energy.
And we were, shouts out to the mayor's office,
for sure,
for definitely helping us out as well. Loading us the truck and utilizing that to help us out. It's pretty sketchy to be on a 40-foot boom truck, if you've never done that before, and especially when someone's afraid of heights like this guy. So it was also a challenge for Pete. To kind of overcome his fear of heights and having to get up there and do it. It's gruesome work. You're sitting there and it's it's hot, and you'll see in the time in the time lapse that it was pretty crazy. So we got through the first day, and then we didn't have any issues. We got all the supplies, everything was done. The wall was pretty much prepped, right?
Yep.
By the first day.
First day.
And then I was surprised. People were just like, "Yo, what's going on?" They were stopping by and kind of wanting to check it all out. And then day two comes, and these guys are they're ready to go. By the time I think day two came, we were already putting up blue on the wall, as you'll see in the time lapse. We're already covering up the wall, and then kind of just prepping some other things. And the paint that we used was really good paint, and it was able to cover it with one pass, but we covered it twice. just to make sure it'll last. And then kind of like that's kind of where we started. And then you started doing like the outline, right?
So after basically we laid most of the buff down, which is the blue, we ended up starting to sketch the painting. So by the end of day two basically, we basically had a full sketch up, and it's weird for a wall this big to move that quick in process. So the team was just like I said from day one, everything like was settled down. Then day two, like we all knew what we needed to do, and we were just going and going.
Yeah, I think our team was only a team of 6 people.
Yeah.
And that wall, the size of that wall is 3,600 to 4,000 feet, I think, in regards to square footage. So to cover that amount was pretty quick. And then, fast forward, I think day 3, we laid down the outline. We worked into the night. Like I said, working through curfew too was crazy. We didn't break curfew, and we couldn't break curfew. We had to do what we needed to do, right? And so we were able to finish it all. And I think, in the end, people got to see we got it all done in about 5 days.
Yeah,
5 days.
about 5 days.
Yeah, about 5.5 days total. And then we were, and then fast forward, right? We're there, and we're all celebrating, and we're taking photos.
I'll see you guys next trip.
I'll see you guys on the next trip, and everything was done. Everybody was happy. Everybody was great.
By that time or something.
And then, yeah, we had a little dilemma, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that. We're doing a couple things, and we start getting some social media backlash. I mean, we were working, brutal sun, 12 hours a day for the 5 days or more. And I mean, just to give you guys a quick scope, we did this project in May. We had all the way up until September to do the project. We knocked it out in 6 days. It's amazing the amount of work that was done in the 6 days. For that to be accomplished on that size of wall is a feat in itself. And I'm pretty proud of the way that we did it, the guys, and how professional they were in regards to it. But the thing about artwork is it's artwork. Not everybody's going to agree upon it. We started getting some backlash because the depiction that was put up there had characters in it, and for some reason, one way or another, there wasn't a female character. And after we submitted so many renditions and everything, and we got the final approval, I think it was realistically an oversight as to what happened. But people noticed it, and they were being loud about it, and they wanted to. They went all the way up to the governor and
wanted to shake some trees.
Yeah, they wanted to shake some trees. So which is okay. Everybody has it is a public wall. And things like that. But what I want to talk about more so is not that because the correction was made, but more so just an artist's perspective on when they do art and how they do it, and what that does to them when we end up having to kind of change their creative process in order to feed the masses. Which, it's a public wall. I mean, if it was my house stuff, it wouldn't matter. Or if it's a private gallery, it's different. But, that's kind of like my perception on it is, we did it, and we did it so quick, and we were professionals about it. And it wasn't the artwork that we were actually wanting to do in the beginning. And it was something that we, fed into the community. And and it got approved, and this is kind of where we're at with it. So I know that some people reached out to social media to Soez, so I want him to talk a little bit about what his thoughts are on artwork and the originality, and how to kind of deal with that.
So when the whole hiccup kind of happened, it was a big shock to me because it was a mural that was done quickly, and it represented the islands. And I just really want to state for the camera and for everyone that's listening, like, this was not meant to be a sports mural. This mural wasn't depicted, wasn't made to say, this is for the at a gym. This was for the whole CNMI. So the art that we chose was basically used to represent the CNMI, and we just wanted to pay homage to Louis Ogo, and then make sure that his piece was never forgotten, because it's such a historical piece. From me coming from an artist, I looked up to that painting so many times, like going to baseball, running across the track when I had to go for PE class and run the track. So the sports were there to pay homage for him. So we did kind of overlook putting a girl on it, and it did kind of break my heart that someone would complain so hard about it after we were 100% done, and she waited all the way till it was 100% done to finally complain about it, because she knew what I shouldn't say anything about that, but I'm just happy that it kind of happened though, because as much negative stuff that was said about it, it shines so much light onto that mural that we couldn't have ever done by ourselves. That whole little negative connotation and the whole little negative remark that was made, it blew up, how do I say,
we went viral
basically. So for something that in the end, I'm happy that it happened, and I'm happy we went through that battle, because not the people that didn't know that it was happening knew that it was happening, and they took the time to come over to the Ad Gym and kind of look at it and just, make their own depictions about it and make their own interpretations about the art. So I mean, I'm happy it happened. It worked out in the end.
Yeah, I mean, we just didn't have any hiccups, and it was just crazy to be. I mean, for me, I'm a very fair person. I have a lot of friends who, have different type of partners, not binary, non-binary, non-gender specific, all these different things. And you'll see, but when we overlooked it, it was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that we really overlooked it, and
for sure.
And so what we, after, because we were moving so fast, I think that we didn't even get the time to reevaluate what it was, and in the end, we ended up changing one of the characters, and we couldn't satisfy everybody.
Definitely.
There was people that were saying, oh, we want to have a canoe on there, and we want to have this, and we want to have that, and the only reason why we're really sharing this part, and it's completely nothing against the person who was complaining, because I completely understand and I completely feel for you, and that's why we went ahead and we did it, and we changed the mural, because there was, at that point, us as a business and as artists, we got the approved paperwork and I got the approval. We didn't have to change anything. So because we are kids of the CNMI, we all want to be, we all were raised by good parents, and wanted to make sure that mural up there, which was like some of our life work. I mean, that thing's going to be up there for 20 years. There's very little people on this island that really are going to ever be able to say that we did that. And that's the whole reason why, no matter what the controversy was in the end, when the things were going viral on social media, we really just wanted it to be about the artwork. And that's what it was. And if that's what we can take out of this, and the lesson that we can learn, is that in the end, it's about the artist and it's about the artwork. And so the funny part about it was Soes had to leave, right? So he had to leave. It was COVID. We had all these things that were going on. Then Pete's fear of bucket trucks and height. And then guess what? Guess who had to do the painting? Because I can't paint, right? So Pete had to go in there, and we had to convert the woman, which was kind of like a unisex person anyway. So it wasn't that hard of a conversion, right?
No. Yeah, approach is just got to be creative and see one thing in the other already, right? So trimming things down and fine-tuning stuff. But yeah, like I said, enter Mr. Aldon on the fear of heights on that bucket, and taking over Soyce over here with the cans. This guy's amazing over here. So I loved it because it was a big learning experience for myself. 90% of what I did there was by can. And to step back and look at the detail on the eyes and the mouth and the nose, and to know that I learned some tricks proper to this guy right here. You know what I mean? It's just nice. It was a learning experience. But yes, again, thank you guys for including me also in this. And
No problem.
Yeah, and I think for you guys that are watching this, in the end, I have zero experience doing murals. We had one small mural. Pete's a very talented artist. Soas has done a bunch. We want to bring this to Saipan. We want to bring art more to the forefront because we have so many talented people. And I mean, if I can leave any message with you, is that, you know, if you put your mind to it, you can do it. How cliche that sounds, but you know, if you have the right team and you get out there and you just try to do it, then it'll work out for you. So, you know, thank you very much, CNMI, for supporting us, and we look forward to doing more murals locally. You know, and you know, if you're out there and you're struggling, starting artists, you know, I mean, all you got to do is get out there and try. There's different grants through the Endowment Society, through the National Arts Endowments, and so don't be afraid. Get out there and put something on a wall legally.
Not guilty. I would just like to say a big thank you going out to Shane and the whole Royal Soil team. Thanks for having me to be a part of this project. It was a huge dream of mine since I started doing murals in Guam to actually do a mural here in Saipan for Saipan or for the whole CNMI, and it couldn't have been no other better wall for me to actually break it out. So I'm really thankful also to the mayor's office and to everybody that came out and showed some love, honked the horns, and just that chose my side. No, I'm just kidding, but I really appreciate all the love that we've been getting, and thanks to everybody. Appreciate it.
Hey, what's up, guys? Big up to Mr. Shane Villanueva again, Royal Soil Clothing, and Mr. TJ over here, Sois from Opaque. Again, the idea, like, full circle for this guy right here. I've known him for a long time. We've known him for a long time, and he's been doing this stuff without getting paid. And then now to go into the biggest wall, the biggest canvas that Saipan has to offer. You know what I'm saying? That's a beauty in itself. That's an island boy right there, from youth to adult right there, continuing his trade and his crafts and killing it, right? And for myself, again, all I'm doing is thank them for the journey, for the ride. Let's go, CNMI, keep it colorful, right? Right on.
Last but not least, we wouldn't be here without our video people behind the camera. So we got to give a big shout out to DNR Visuals for catching that while we were there. You know, in the beginning, I really wanted to capture it because I knew it was going to be a momentous occasion for everybody here in the CNMI to see that wall go down and come back up the way it did. We look forward to all the tourists that are going to be there to be taking pictures, you know, and be there and share that wealth with everybody out there. So thanks a lot. We'll see you guys on the next one.